Bob, I'm so glad you're willing to do this video today, because I think you've made some major changes in your life, and I'd like for people to hear about what has happened to you with the visionary dream coaching and also some of the executive coaching. You know, we've added some things that you've requested. So would you please introduce yourself first, because I think people need to know a little bit about you, and then we'll talk about the visionary dream coaching.
Yeah, thanks, Jackalyn. It certainly has been life-changing, at least for me. And as I've gone through this journey of late, post-COVID of personal introspection, this has really helped in really determining where I've been and where I need to be. And that being said, I've been in the finance industry, commercial banking, franchise world for 40 years plus. Background, credit training with Chemical Bank New York, MBA, St. Edward's University in Austin, was originally microbiology at the University of Texas. And I guess those little microbes turned into calculators and dollar signs and kind of morphed me into the business world from science and maybe the 70s on top of that. But I have, in my tenure, probably analyzed and funded about $400 million worth of businesses. It may not sound like a lot, but it is. It's an average of about 10 million a year in deals. But they're varying industries, from restaurants to automotive to, when I was at Texas Commerce Bank before we merged with Chemical, I was looking at cattle ranches, oil and gas, original equipment manufacturers, looking at aluminum futures, granite in Indonesia. I mean, so I have a pretty vast, I guess, array of expertise that I've used to assist businesses in determining what their capital needs are. And I've leveraged that over the years to eke out a living for me and my family.
Thank you. Well, with all those impressive things, then my first question is one that I think will really give some valuable information to people. With all that background, what encouraged you to decide to do visionary dream and executive coaching with me?
Well, that's a pretty good question, and I think at a minimum, with COVID, it allowed me to think, what do I need to do going forward? How do I need to pivot? Because the majority of my business prior to COVID was in the restaurant industry. Mm-hmm. That's just kind of how it happened. I mean, I was VP of finance for Schlotzsky's. I've been doing that kind of since 9/11. But when COVID hit, the restaurant industry crashed. And when that crashed, 100% of my business crashed. So, how do you recover from that? How do you pivot? And that required me to really take a look at myself. Then I met you through one of our networking groups, and we had a fit, as it were. Sorry about the hand quotes, but there was a fit there personally. And given your background and what you do, you saw an opportunity to assist me with that introspection, and I accepted it. And I determined that this would really be the route that I needed to go in order to be successful moving forward. And you might say, at my age, why aren't you retiring? And I guess I've been blessed to be with every crash that's happened since .com, and I've constantly been beaten down and had to get back up. So this is, for me, this is just another one of those. It's like getting hit playing rugby or football. You're carrying the ball, you get hit, you go down, you get back up, and you keep running. So that's what I've been doing. And Jackalyn, your program has really helped me hone in and develop where I need to be or where I need to go and how to get there. And it's like building a house that we might have discussed earlier. You know, we're going through foundation, we're going through framing. Next, we'll be hitting electrical and maybe putting up some sheetrock and getting to where we have a full roof. So that's kind of how it came about.
Thank you so much. And I just want to, you've already told some of the things that you benefited from the visionary and executive coaching, but I would also like for you to add some more if you would. What are some specific things you might want to name as benefits from having worked with us working together is how I really look at it.
I was a real sarcastic cuss and used to take everything from a humorous standpoint when I met you. And that was okay as the class clown in college and maybe in high school and maybe early in the business world. But I've determined and you have enlightened me through the coaching that instances like that, you know, really may be an impediment to my professionalism, even though I don't know that it would have increased my business over the years, but probably would have. And as a result, you have, let's say you've enhanced my professionalism by cutting out a lot of the adolescent, not saying I'm an adolescent by any means, but a lot of the adolescent banter that I thought was useful in business situations to give people a little laugh to break the ice. And what I've learned now is there's other ways to break the ice than you know, being a business clown.
Thank you very much. I know one thing that you've done is you now have 10 dreams. And as you said, we're trying to build a foundation for you as well as strategies and things that you can do to meet those dreams. Are there some things that you've seen in the coaching that have helped you define more clearly what you'd like to do in the future?
Yes, and specifically, I've been able to go back, and by go back, we're talking into my 20s and looking forward and identify things that maybe I consider as personal or business failures and challenges and why they occurred and how to mitigate those going forward. And with your help, identifying those allows me to hone in more on the on what those 10 dreams are and not to repeat those behaviors again. And I think that's really been, at least of late, the biggest challenge and the biggest success, and quite frankly, getting some of those off my back as impediments to me emotionally and mentally, as possible, you know, just feeling bad about myself, or, you know, I've been able to kind of throw that stuff to the side, but identify it, appreciate it, embrace it, and use it as tactics going forward.
Thank you. That's really wonderful to describe it. Is there anything else you would like to add, just to say about what you've learned or what you're looking forward to, or how you find our relationship valuable as you being the person I'm coaching and I'm your coach?
As I've always been, you know, an athletic or sports kind of guy, and I really believe, or individual, and I really believe in the idea of having a coach. And in this instance, it might not be playing rugby or lifting weights or running, but it's a coach in life and business. And with your years of experience, expertise, and credentials, it's extremely beneficial to know that I'm not just talking to an individual that can't back up and provide factual, real-time, and true data, insights, and information to help me move forward. I mean, it's like with anything else, you know, you're going to get out of it what you put into it, and having a coach that can motivate and get you to lift that extra, 10 pounds really helps. And I see a lot of my buddies out there in different businesses. They might be a software engineer, they might be a marketer in the software world, and a lot of my friends are in that world. They're lost. They don't know where they are, what they want to do when they grow up. And these guys are in their from late 40s up to my age. And I think something like this would really help them identify where they need to be and identify things in the past that maybe would allow them to retool, refit, pivot, and do something else that's a little more pleasurable and fulfilling to them and give them more direction instead of just going in circles.
Thank you. And Bob, the things you've said today really mean a great deal to me. It's a real privilege to work with you. And I'm really pleased with all the progress you've made, and I look forward to the more progress that we make together. So I really thank you for doing this video with me.
Yeah, thank you as well, Jackalyn. It's been a pleasure, and we're not done yet.
That's correct. Thank you.